this guy, he has one very big problem. That big problem is problem of communication. Over time, I've discovered that, you can be a very good engineer, but some engineers are not good managers. As engineers, we are trained to manage machines, equipment. Hey, come here, do this, do that. No, it's beyond that. How will I even give all my best? Yeah, giving all your best to work if you want them to give you the best at work. It's not about salary. That smile alone can go a long way. And he told me that the best day of his life is when his boss came to see him on his sick bed. Hello guys, how are you all doing? It's your favorite Mr. Sub. So today I'm currently on holiday and I came around here. It's a lake, okay, a very beautiful lake, just near my neighborhood, or just in my neighborhood. I live over there, okay? A beautiful lake. I live just over there, See that tall building there? Behind that tall building, that's where I live, okay? So I came here today just to take some fresh air, just to relax. It's morning here, something around 8 o'clock in the morning. So I came to take some, some relaxation here and just, do some kind of meditations about life, about next move, and about the next step. And something just came to my mind I want to share with you anyway about something that happened sometimes in my place of work. And I think I should share that to you. I used to have a very talented boss. He's very talented. I give that to him. He's very good at what he does. But he's very bossy. When someone is bossy, he's really a bossy guy. When I mean bossy, sometimes when you talk to him, the way he responds to you, not because I'm a foreigner, no, he does that to even the locals here. So this guy, he has one very big problem. And that big problem is problem of communication, okay? Communication. He lacks these good communication skills. So, anyway, I wouldn't blame him so much. Over time I've discovered that, you can be a very good engineer. You can be very good at what you do, but some engineers are not good managers. And do you know why? Because as engineers, we are trained to manage machines, equipment, deal with equipment. As engineers, all our life we have been working with equipment. I've worked with several kinds of equipment, machines in my life until today, So coming down to manage human beings sometimes are not easy. And when it comes to managing people in the office, you know what I'm saying? So it takes an engineer with some kind of exceptional skill of management, or what I call managerial skills, to be able to manage human, And management is not all about, hey, come here, do this, do that. No, it's beyond that. You have to understand human, how they think, how they act, to be able to manage them very well. And when you manage people, you should also know that they have their own life to live. They have their own family. So you have to think beyond the work scope to manage human beings. For example, let me give an instance. I have a colleague, a former colleague of mine, and he told me that the best day of his life is when his boss came to see him on his sick bed and gave him some money. His boss left his work, his boss left office and went to see him at the sick bed, give him some money, show that care, that he also care about his life. So that was his best moment of his life ever. And when he came back to work, he had to put more effort, knowing that his boss does not only care about the work he needs to do, but also care about his life. You see? Just that act of kindness from his boss has changed that guy's orientation, has changed that guy's mentality about work, and he's willing and no is willing to do more in terms of work. I also have a friend I have a guy that was talking about work. It was like, how would I even kill myself for this job? I would just do what I can do. I would like I would do my job very well, but I'm not going to give too much. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we give beyond, like we try to impute, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to not really impress. Sometimes you bring out what is in you. Like you work, let me use the word, you work with that inner pleasure. When work does not become like a burden to you. Something you do like a hobby, yeah. Something you do like, like you have this pleasure when it comes to work. It wasn't like, how will I even give all my best? Yeah, giving all your best to work when my boss don't really care about me. You hardly see my boss even say, like, if I greet him in the morning, just like, okay. Like, he has that kind of attitude to work because, why? He feels that his boss does not really appreciate what he does, has no single appraiser to his work. So he felt that there's no need for him to add too much effort or too much, put too much, into what he does. Now, where am I going at? I have a boss then. He's very bossy. And where am I going at? Every boss has a boss. In life, we just have to be the best we can. So this boss that is very bossy, that makes everyone look as if they are not working, that does not really care about people's life. He only cares about the work you are doing and nothing more. And he only speaks to you if he feels that you have some potential that is competing with his own potential. Then he comes close to you. Else, no matter how good you are, if he knows that he's better than you, he doesn't speak to you. Like, he has kind of funny behavior of communication. Very, very funny one. So I knew that, well, some engineers are not good managers because we deal with machines and not human. So sometimes if you give some engineers much amount of human to manage, it becomes sometimes a catastrophe because we deal with machines. Anyway, so one day, this same boss that will always sit in his office every day, he doesn't come out, sit in his office. You have to go and meet him. Good morning, sir. I say, good morning. And, and sometimes he just become nice all of a sudden. Sometimes once in a blue moon. But what happened? Now, this same boss, his boss came around one day. Hey, then I was really surprised. The day his boss came around, this same boss that will always be very bossy, that will always sit in the office, never sat in his office for 1 second. For 1 second. Never. He was all up and doing. He was going to the test lab. He was doing this. He was going here. He was going there. I was wondering. I was like, why is this man moving up and down, joining all groups, in the test lab, going to, he was up and down. I even went to go and look for him almost 4 times to help me sign a document, and I never met this man in the office. I was now wondering, and I asked someone, I said, because his boss is around. And that is why he never sat in the office all through the day. That's really funny. It's really funny that we all as human, we choose what we want to be, even when we know what is good and what is bad. Because people have complained so much about this man, but he chooses what he wants to be this kind of very bossy guy that is somewhat rude. I mean rude, somewhat rude. But the day he saw the boss, his own boss, he became that humanly boss, became that very nice boss that could talk to us, speak with us, try to know our feelings, try to know, I don't want to talk a lot, I don't want to go into much details, but it was so shocking that this same guy that was behaving this way still have another part of him that could align to our own reasoning, that could make us see him as, someone we can relate to, was really shocking. That speaks volume. It tells that we are what we want to be. We are what we want to be part-time. I can stand to be a very good man today, and tomorrow just change, become the next person that you never imagine. But sometimes I wonder how people could fake themselves, like try to impersonate. Let me use the word impersonate, because that day, that wasn't his personality. We all know him as this very somewhat rude guy, someone that doesn't know how to communicate with people. But sometimes I wonder how people could fake life for the whole 1 week, because that's his boss was there for the 1 week, for 5 fucking days. For the whole 5 fucking days, this man never, I repeat, never sat in his office. His office was abandoned for that 1 week. He was always in the test lab, in the test room, going to excuse me, coming to us individually and asking us, how are you doing? How is your work today? That day I felt a little bit, let me say that week, I felt somewhat, irritated by his behavior. Are you not the same guy that everybody complain about? The same guy that everybody feels that you are too bossy, you are too rude, you have no manners. Are you not the same guy? Then why are you coming to us and asking us how is our work going? What have you done so far? How is this project going? I just felt that, people, I don't know how we behave as human beings, that you could fake to put a new or a different clothing on you for 1 whole week and, try to impersonate someone's behavior, because in the real fact, that's not his behavior. So it's really funny. But anyway, I just remember that, and I said I should share that with you. And that, let's just be real as human beings. Let's be real. If you have this very bad attitude, very bad behavior, you can try to amend it. Don't fake it. Because even after the boss left, he came back to his new self. Don't forget, every boss have a boss. Every boss have a boss. And the question again is that, how do you treat your friends, your colleagues at work? How do you treat them? How do you treat them at work? But it goes a long way to affect the way they behave at work. How do you treat them? Because you don't want people to become very productive at work, while you give them very bad, attitude, or very bad, kind of treatment at work. You being the boss. The way you treat them at work determines their outputs to a large extent. Yes. The way you deal with your colleague at work, your workers at work, those under you, your subordinates, determines to a large extent their output at work. I wish you all the best, and I hope we can become people of value, people that also care about other people's life. Like I said, that my friend told me that the best day of his life being employed in that company was the day his boss came to see him at, on the sick bed, gave him some money for his bill, hospital bill, and also, asked him, genuinely how he feels, how is he feeling now, how is his health, that was the best day of his life. And that his boss has been a very nice boss, but leaving his office, leaving his job, and going to him, checking on him, paying part of his bills, send a long of signals to that guy. And from that day, he had to put his best at work. So the way you treat your workers at work, your staffs, determines to a very large extent how they become productive. And this boss of mine that is very bossy oftentimes complains of people productivity. Why? Because most people know that they are not working because they really want to work under his regime, or let me say under his tenure, or under his leadership. They are only working because they want to work in that company. But working under him, they are not happy. But they have no choice than to work. And when they work, see them, they work with, they are not giving the best of themselves, while working. They are working half-mindedness. They are working with some kind of grudges. They are working not really happy because of the bad treatments from this same guy. I wish you all the best. It's not about salary. It goes beyond that. Sometimes, how are you doing this morning? How are you doing? Oh, Michael. Oh, Lillian. How are you doing? That smile alone can go a long way to change their work attitude. That smile alone can go a long way. Don't be bossy always. No. You are human. Go to them, ask them, how are you doing? That smile alone for one day, that smile alone can change somebody's behavior at work. I wish you all the best, and I remain your favorite, Mr. Sub. Have a wonderful time. Today is Monday, and the government has actually gave an injunction that every schools and offices should be closed down today. So hello. So guys, I'm just taking a stroll around the streets of Hamburg. Hamburg shop. What do you see? What do you think? Wow, can you see that boat behind me?